Welcome back to 5 award-winning minutes with Steven Seidel. We have another amazing show for you today. We have Hua from Veritas Consulting Group. Ty, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, very excited to learn a little bit more about your work. I know we've connected a great deal, and I wanted to share some with our audiences. Tell us a little bit about, how you got involved with Team VC Group, and then what your role is currently with them.
Yeah, I think it all starts with, so I'm an athlete to begin with, going back to my high school days. Um, I just feel like it's a fundamental part of business development or professional development or personal development is that we should always have a coach, somebody that's always pushing us to that next level to help break through really to the upper echelons of whatever we're trying to do. So that's essentially the startup of Team VC Group. But what I do is I help with small businesses to break through. Maybe it's a new business just trying to enter into the market. Maybe it's a business that's been here for a couple of years, but every year they hit a certain revenue ceiling or just they're not growing where they want to grow. That's when they bring me on to really help with them, to consult with them about what's holding them back that maybe they don't really understand the dynamics of business that are holding them back. Maybe it's they're looking in one direction and going in another one, and they just don't know how to stop that that momentum, that negative momentum. So that's what Team VC Group is. That's how I got involved.
Awesome. We love momentum. Usually at the Seidel Agency, we start with the mission, messaging, marketing and media, and then momentum. What's the most common issue you see when working as a consultant and you come into somebody's business? What's the most common thing you see where you're like, that's low-hanging fruit or a problem that you can help solve?
The number one thing is people don't realize that they're so invested in working in their company that they don't actually work on their company. And what I mean by that is, maybe it's a small mom and pop plumbing business. Maybe it is a carpenter business, maybe whatever it is, right? There's one that I'm working with up in New Jersey. It's a CPR business. They're really good at what they do. They're really good at executing on their business model. But usually what happens is they have the wrong business model. So they're not working on the business as much as they're working in the business. So I think that's a huge mistake that a lot of small businesses are making. And I think if I could just get them to work on their business for 1 to 2 hours a week, it fundamentally changes their mindset to a growth mindset versus just let's just stay afloat mindset.
Yeah, that's a great point. We talk a lot about do, delegate, or delete. So these are the tasks that are stacking up. And it sounds like you're talking more about, delegating. In terms of working on the business, to go back to that, what's one suggestion that you often tell them, or one avenue that is an easy win, if you will?
An easy win is just to know who your clients that you're helping are. That's first and foremost, because without clients, you have no business. So if you know your clients and you know where they're at, go get them. That's the second one. Is lead generation is so important. No matter what business you're in, you have to have people that are going to exchange money for your services or your product. So if you don't know who your customers are and you don't know how you're getting them, well, that's just a design for disaster. So to implement something into their business of like, how are we actually farming leads? And you know this just as well as I do. If we don't have customers, we're not going to get the revenue. We're not going to be able to pay the bills, all the overhead costs, all of that. And it's just not a rewarding business model. So the low-hanging fruit is let's figure out where you're getting your customers, whether that is through an agency like yours. I don't know if you help with lead generation, marketing, stuff like that. If you don't have that, you really don't have a business. You have a hope and a dream.
Yeah, that's 100%. And we do help with lead generation if you do need. But what I really do enjoy is meeting individuals like yourself and having conversations and learning, where things are going. What's one tool that you see, from an AI perspective that you could see maybe some of these businesses could integrate for their business?
Yeah, AI is a powerful tool. People talk about it a lot, but I don't think people actually understand the power of AI. And I think having a consultant like myself or a coach, it really doesn't matter, but helping to understand the tools and the technology that are out there would be equivalent to somebody 30 years ago that really didn't understand the internet, didn't understand the power of the online presence. We kind of, you may scoff at it, you may laugh at, like, well, who doesn't know about the internet, or who doesn't know about AI now? There are a lot of small businesses that don't understand, and putting themselves really at the back end of this growth is, I can't stress enough how important AI is, because you could literally take 2 to 3 things off of your schedule every single day, or at least get them done in a lot quicker fashion, whether that is creating lists for you, creating different areas that, hey, I'm not sure about this type of clientele. Can you tell me more about it? Right? Use it, whether that's Chat GPT or whatever you use. Here's another one that most people miss out on is note taking in your meetings. Right. So
Yeah.
I kind of just switched over to it, to where previous I would have to type up my meetings post meeting to send out, say, here's
Sure.
what we talked about, here's what you need to do, here's what I'm going to do. Well, now that we've integrated that, almost a year and a half ago, it's as simple as letting the AI note taker go, and it automates that email after the meeting, sends it to me, sends it to whoever is involved in the meeting, and it breaks
Sure.
down, even to the point where it's like, hey, here are the 5 things that you guys talked about that you're going to do, and here's the 2 or 3 things that Ty is going to do for you.
Great. Well, hey, I really appreciate your time coming on here. I know it was quick, but if you want to learn more about Veritas Consulting Group, head on over to Daily News Network. You can learn about all the tricks of the trade on how to optimize your business, whether you're small, medium, or large. Lead generation. We really appreciate you coming on today, Ty. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Stephen.